Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter, and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show bringing the best press releases out of the small cap world every morning at the open so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe even find your next great small cap investments. Monday, March the 9th, I've got 4 great press releases for you from both sides of the border. Let's start you off first with Itex Corporation. Trades on the bulletin board under Itex, ITEX. They put out their second quarter numbers for the period ending January 31st, 2009. This is what we call a marketplace for cashless business transactions, or better known as a barter platform. Revenue, $4.365 million, up from $4,175,000 for the same period. Income from operations down substantially to $235,000 from $482,000. Nonetheless, cash at the end of the period, $1.2 million versus just over $1 million at July 31st. So good cash position, good revenue number. Stephen White, chairman and CEO of the company, had this to say: the current economic turmoil has resulted in an increase in media coverage of the benefits offered to businesses with the use of barter through the Itex platform. They closed on Friday at 42 cents, just off their low of 35, and well below their high of $1. That's their 52-week trading range. ChinaTel Group trades on the OTC under CHTL. They announced that they purchased 49% of ChinaCom. ChinaTel, just so you know why this transaction taking place, is a telecommunications engineering and construction services provider. They're in the USA, Latin America, and Asia, as you can imagine. ChinaCom is a wireless technology provider, and they're the fourth largest telecom company in China. They were recently granted authorization to operate a 3.5 gigahertz wireless broadband internet access in 29 cities across China. So you can see why this acquisition has taken place. According to Colin Tay, president of ChinaTel, this transaction should make continued deployment of the wireless broadband network across China even smoother and more successful. They closed on Friday at 80 cents, way off their high, way off their low of 22 cents. Good bounce there. Still substantially below their high of $3.29 though. So take a look. Might be a good entry point for ChinaTel. Dragon Pharmaceutical trades on the TSX under DDD. They're multinational. They announced, that a leading multinational pharmaceutical client has increased their clavulanic acid order by 250% for 2009. I'll get to what clavulanic acid is in a second. But the company, I like this kind of news. They received a 14-ton follow-on supply order for its clavulanic acid products from a fast-growing multinational pharmaceutical company. They're not naming them here. Not a surprise. A lot of these big companies don't want to be named in small-cap press releases. They like to keep things quiet. And that's what's happening here. But what's important for you to know, the initial purchase order was for 4 tons in late 2008 and led to this recent annual supply agreement, and the company believes is paving the way for substantial order increases in subsequent years. Chairman CEO Yanlin Han, here's an excerpt: we're the top manufacturer and leading provider of clavulanic acid in China with a market share of 80%. Have to know that. Very important. Good news for them. And this will enhance our position as a major and reliable long-term supplier to major global pharmaceutical companies. No doubt, I'd like to see those follow-on orders, because that tells us, the marketplace is telling us, that the company has good products, and you always like that kind of third-party validation. About Dragon, they're a manufacturer and distributor of a broad line of high-quality antibiotic products, including clavulanic acid. So now you know where that comes in. They close on Friday at 50 cents, right at their 52-week low, which doesn't have a big range though, 50 to $1.20, and a $35 million market cap over there. So good news out of Dragon. And finally, Vimicro International trades on the NASDAQ, VIMC. Not a lot of data in here, but the news they put out was that they're announced that their China sales are going to surpass 50% of their total sales. This is a NASDAQ-listed Chinese audio-video chip producer. They announced that they expect their China sales to account for more than 50% of total revenue, which is up from 40% today. They don't have any further data than that, so I'm not sure if that's going from $100 to $150 of $300 versus revenue, or if we're talking multi-millions. I've got to expect it's a pretty decent number, because these Chinese companies do very well. They closed on Friday at $1.77, 50% off their 52-week high of $3.50, but off their low of $1.23. And finally, this in from my 6-year-old son, Georgie. He called me on the cell phone today from his car on the way to school to tell me that the World Bank has announced a contraction in the global economy. First time this has happened in post-World War II era. So we've got sources Thanks to my son for giving me that call and giving me the heads up on what's going on around the world. That's a wrap. As always, if you look for more great small cap companies, don't forget about AGORACOM, the AGORACOM 100. Get over to AGORACOM. Right on the front page, you'll see a link to AGORACOM 100. Close to 70 companies listed by industry and exchange with great quick descriptions so you can quickly find the one that best suits your portfolio needs. That's a wrap. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.